From Zion Bank Stadium, it's the round of 16. Salt Lake Academy taking on the Syracuse Titans. Ball kicked off by SLA in navy blue, and the visiting team Syracuse in white. Brock got that ball up over to Tyson. Tyson plays it over to the left-hand side, intended for Harper, headed away by White, headed back by Alec over to the left-hand side, and it is kept in bounds, headed down by Parker to Harper. Harper plays the ball back over to Jose. Jose cuts up to the middle in the middle third, plays the ball back over to the right-hand side over to Brock. Brock chips the ball over to the right-hand side, over to Hassan. Hassan over to, Gerald. Gerald, ball tackled away, recovered there by RJ to Tyler, over to Jose, over to Harper. Harper on the left-hand side, entering the attacking third on the left. Puts the ball up over to RJ, stuffed. Ball played into the center, recovered by Syracuse. They play the ball up, and Alec is able to get a toe on it. It'll be recovered by the back line for Syracuse. Syracuse resets back to their keeper. RJ going into the box about 8 yards out. Syracuse plays it over the top left corner of the 18-yard line, plays a wide left. Tyson up against the line, delays the player. Syracuse puts it back in the middle, swings it over to the far right-hand side, at the bottom of the middle third on the right now. Harper on defense. Alec moving up in the middle, ball at midfield. Tyler with a tackle. Tyler gets the ball over to 1-2 from Tyson, is intercepted by Syracuse. Syracuse on the left-hand side, inside the attacking third on the left. A few yards outside of the box, tackled away by Tyson, recovered by Hassan. Hassan puts it up in the middle to, that's Tyler. Tyler back over to Hassan. Hassan stutter steps, keeps the ball up against the line. And that ball is stolen away by Syracuse in midfield. Ball brought over back into the center to their center back. Ball at the bottom of the circle, now in midfield on the left-hand side. Ball cut up, and Brock slows things down a bit, but it is Syracuse with possession. A right-footed cross over to the far right-hand side, and it rolls out of bounds. It'll be goal kick for the Griffins. Jose over to Bryson. Bryson at about 7 yards out, kicks it back over to the left-hand side over to Jose. Jose puts it up over to Parker. Parker, bottom of the middle third, puts it up over to RJ. RJ breaking through, recovers the ball inside the box, shoots, and buries one. RJ puts SLA up 1-0. What a through ball and what a finish from RJ. No goal called, and ball is back into play. It was called back, and it is Syracuse now with the ball. Syracuse at the bottom of the middle third on the left-hand side. Tyson with the delay there. Syracuse looking to circle and cycle the ball through. They chip it up on the left-hand side. It is brought down by Brock. Brock, his pass intended for Tyson, not there. Syracuse chips the ball over to the far right-hand side. They've got a runner, and it is kicked out of bounds by Harper. It'll be a corner kick for Syracuse. Syracuse with an opportunity to run a set piece just under 5 minutes into the game. Signal given from the corner, run up, it's going to be right-footed, medium height at the top, brought down, 10 yards, 6 yards, crossed over and cleared out by Brock. It'll be brought down by Syracuse. Syracuse being hustled down by Tyler Hinson, and the ball is reset back to their keeper, who is a few yards outside of the box. RJ in pursuit of the ball. RJ challenges the ball, and it is out off of the Griffins, so it'll be Syracuse throwing at the top of their defensive third on the right-hand side. Syracuse throws the ball in over the heads of their players. It is brought down by Jose. Jose back over to Bryson, who's a few yards outside of the box. Bryson lays it off on the right-hand side over to Brock, who has time and space. Gives it up over to Hassan on the right-hand side. Hassan at midfield, soft touch, and it is kicked back. I believe that was Alec all the way to Brock. Brock then switches it over to the left-hand side to Parker. Parker with a nice touch with his left foot. Kicks it on the left-hand side over to Harper. Harper back heel toe. And it is kept in bounds by Syracuse, who's now on the counter-attack on the right-hand side. Harper slows things down. Syracuse bringing it back into the center. Alec chasing the ball down, is played over wide left, and it's going to go too far. It'll be a Griffin throw-in about 15 yards before midfield on the right-hand side. Hassan throws the ball in. Ball first connected by Syracuse, then Alec, then ball over to Tyler. Tyler flicks it up, headed back by Syracuse. And Alec heads the ball over in the center to Tyler. Tyler brings the ball down. Tyler plays the ball off over the right-hand side over to Tyson. Tyson, dispossessed, recovered by Hassan on the right-hand side. Hassan looking across the ball. He chips it up over to the center. Punched out by the Syracuse keeper, brought down by Tyler. Tyler lays the ball off over to Gerald. Gerald shimmies, gets the ball over to the right-hand side over to Tyson. Tyson 16 yards out, lays it off and trying to get it over to RJ. Cleared out by the Syracuse defense. And they are having an issue getting the ball out. Gerald gets the ball and cleared out there by Syracuse. Past midfield, brought down by Parker. Parker with a nice touch. He plays it straight up the center, not on the same page, intended for Gerald. And it is Syracuse now on the attack on the right-hand side of the top of their middle third on the right. Ball played into the center, and a slip-up. It'll be Hassan who will recover about 5 or so yards outside the box. Hassan on the right-hand side, bottom of the middle third. Elects to slow the pace down, give it over to Brock. Brock plays it over to the far left-hand side over to Jose. Jose over to Parker. Parker plays it down the left line over to Harper. Harper keeps it in bounds and is dispossessed by the Syracuse offense, and a foul called against Syracuse. It will be SLA free kick a few yards past midfield on the left-hand side. Parker plays the ball back all the way to Brock. Brock at the bottom of his middle third. Parker swings the ball to the right-hand side to Hassan in midfield. Hassan in front of the Syracuse bench. Plays it on the right over to Tyson. Tyson to Alec. Alec on the right-hand side. Inside the attacking third. Puts it into Tyler. Tyler lays it off over to Tyson. Tyson back over to Alec. Alec takes a touch, swings, and it's blocked. It'll be a Griffin corner kick. And it is Tyson trotting over to the corner flag, the designated corner kicker for the Griffins. SLA Parker and Jose staying back. Brock inside the box, providing some height. Gerald there at the top of the box. Tyler right in front of the PK circle. Tyson, right-footed kick up to the near post, headed back, and it will roll to the far side. Harper is going to get there. Harper keeps it in bounds. No, and it rolls off. The call is white throw-in. Syracuse throws the ball down the line just over to Parker's head. Syracuse is able to recover. Gerald in the middle slowing the ball down. Alec now putting pressure, forcing Syracuse to their left. Syracuse at the bottom of their middle third. Right-footed, nope. Ball cut in, right-footed down in the middle. Tyler putting some pressure on Syracuse, able to dodge and maintain possession. Syracuse, they're right back, all the way over the right-hand side, connecting in front of the bench, and a heavy ball, and Parker elects to cut that ball back and clear it out down the left-hand side. It is RJ who gets to the ball first, brought down by Gerald. Gerald over to the far left-hand side over to Harper. Harper slows it down, cuts back over to his right, and it is towed out of bounds by Syracuse. It will be a throw-in, ball from Harper to Parker. Parker, right-footed kick over to the far right-hand side, looking for Tyson. Tyson hustling over, using his body, keeps it in bounds. It's going to be a little bit too much, though, and Syracuse recovers it just before the flag, and the counterattack there by Tyson off of the foot of the Syracuse player. It'll be a throw-in about 6 yards out on the right-hand side. Tyson throws the ball down the line over to Tyler, unable to control it. It'll be goal kick for the Syracuse Titans. Ball put into play on the right-hand side. RJ putting some pressure on. Ball cycled around the defensive line, penetrating up over to the left-hand side to the midfield now. Tyson getting some pressure on, towed away by Gerald, I believe that is. Ball played up into the center. Syracuse maintaining possession, creating short passes, lateral movement by Syracuse. Syracuse then penetrates up to the middle, a bit of a heavy touch. Brock chases him down, but resets back to his position. Syracuse now trying over it on the right-hand side. Ball slowly moving up, yard by yard for Syracuse, up to midfield, and then towed away by Brock. Brock breaks a tackle on the left-hand side, speeding coming in, and no foul called, and cleared out by Syracuse over to the far right-hand side, and it is Parker who's going to recover, and he resets over to Bryson at the top of his box. Bryson slows the pace down, rolling the ball just outside of the box now. Over to the right-hand side from Bryson to Brock. Brock at the bottom of the middle third, now over to Hassan. Hassan back over to Brock. Brock with his right foot over to the other side to Jose. Jose touches the ball, moves up a few yards, looking for different options, moves back more into the center, just swings the ball to the right-hand side over to Brock. Brock at the top of the defensive third, moving to the bottom of the middle third now, plays the ball up the center over to Gerald. Gerald in traffic. No foul called, recovered by Hassan. Hassan plays it up over to Tyson. Tyson 1-2 to Alec, is intercepted. And Syracuse with possession in the middle. Recovered by Gerald, and a foul called against the Griffins. Syracuse with a free kick from the left-hand side just before midfield. Right-footed kick over to the far right-hand side. It'll be Harper who has that ball down the line. It'll be Syracuse who gets the ball first. They get over to the far right-hand side. They have the channel, keeping it inbounds. Inside the attacking third, 18 yards out, move it over to the right-hand side, and Parker toes the ball out. And the call is corner kick. No, change to goal kick in favor of the Griffins. Syracuse taking a moment to cycle out a couple of players. It'll be Brock taking the kick from the right side, puts it over to Bryson. Bryson walking up, plays it over to the left-hand side, over to Jose. Jose moves the ball to the left-hand side. Bottom of the middle third, plays it down the channel over to Harper. Harper, no handball called, and that ball is cleared from Parker over to RJ. RJ unable to bring it down. It'll be Syracuse throwing to the top of their defensive third on the right-hand side. Ball thrown in, headed up by Harper. Tyler is able to whip that ball up with his head, and then eventually cleared by Syracuse. Recovered by Parker, back over to Brock. Brock at the bottom of the circle at midfield. Right-footed kick down the right-hand line, looking for Tyson, headed away by Syracuse. Hassan overruns the ball, recovers against the line, keeps it in bounds. And it is Syracuse who emerges with the ball, dislodged by Hassan to Alec. Alec to RJ to Alec. Alec on the right-hand side over to Tyson, keeps the ball in bounds, and is called out of bounds. It'll be Syracuse throwing. Syracuse throws the ball down. Nice touch there by the Syracuse center back. Ball swung over to the far right-hand side. RJ almost getting a touch on it. Syracuse bringing the ball up out of their defensive third. Right-footed kick over to the right-hand side of midfield. They're able to connect. Syracuse, the pass stuffed by Harper. It'll be Syracuse throw-in. Syracuse throws the ball into the center. Jose tried to cut his man off. Didn't work. Gerald will be there to pick up the slack. He gets it back over to Bryson. Bryson at the PK spot. Plays it with his right foot over to Hassan. Hassan about 25 yards out. Gets it to Tyson. Tyson cutting on the inside. His pass is deflected. Picked up by Brock, who clears it out of the defensive third. Headed down, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be Griffin throw-in at midfield. Hassan throws the ball into Gerald. Nice touch by Gerald. Gerald brings the ball back. Gets it over to Jose at the bottom of the circle. Jose swings it over to the left-hand side over to Parker. Parker cuts on the inside, dodging a tackle. Intercepted by Syracuse. Syracuse gets the ball out and clears it down the right channel. They've got a runner, and Jose is able to cut that ball back. Jose with space. Plays the ball back over to Brock. Brock up the middle over to Gerald. Gerald swings it over the right-hand side over to Hassan. Hassan crossing midfield on the right-hand side. Right-footed, cuts in, dispossessed. And an errant touch by Syracuse slows the ball down. And it is Hassan emerging with the ball over to Tyson. Dislodged and cleared out by the Syracuse defense. In front of their own bench, looking to turn the corner. They play it back instead. Syracuse with the right foot plays it up in the center. Harper on defense. Harper tackles the ball away. Harper in the center over to Tyler. Tyler slows the ball down, cuts back over to the left-hand side. Plays it back over to Parker on the left. Parker at the top of the middle third plays it up over to RJ. RJ, nice touch, brings the ball over, gives it over to Harper against the left line. Harper off of the Syracuse. And the ref got that one wrong. It is Syracuse throw-in is the call. And it's Syracuse taking a minute to make a few substitutions. Syracuse with the throw on the top of their defensive third on the left-hand side. Harper heads the ball up, and it will be another Syracuse throw-in. Syracuse with a generous step forward, ball hit up and goes out of bounds. The call is Syracuse throw-in. Ball picked up quickly. The Titans at the top of their middle third, practically the attacking third with this throw-in. Ball played into the center. And they're able to complete a pass. Ball played over to the far left-hand side, top of their middle third. Tyson on defense, ball recovered, almost dislodged, and played up the middle channel. And sliding in is Gerald, is Syracuse here, who recovers though. Syracuse with possession on the left-hand side, just crossing midfield now. Syracuse plays a 1-2 on the left, connecting, breaking through, and a right-footed launch, and it goes over. It'll be Griffin goal kick. Bryson to Brock on the right-hand side. Coach Greg telling his team he wants to increase the tempo. Brock swings it over to the far left, over to Jose. He's able to keep it in. Jose bringing the ball into the center, plays it over, back over to Brock. Come on, Griffin. Brock over to the right-hand side to Hassan. Hassan one touch over to Tyler. Tyler down the right channel, unable to connect, intended for Tyson, and it will be Syracuse who recovers. Syracuse against the left-hand side now. Brought down, Syracuse recovering. In the middle, Parker challenging for the ball, recovered by Alec. Alec at the top of the middle third. Sorry, into the middle over to Gerald. Gerald slots it over to the right. It's going to be too much for Tyson. And it will be goal kick for the Syracuse Titans. The call was changed and is now a corner kick in favor of the Griffins. Brock coming up to provide some height. Jose and Parker staying back. Tyson taking the kick. Signal given from the right. Right foot medium height headed down, and it will be cleared out by Syracuse. Parker. Ball being brought back by Syracuse into their defensive third, over to their keeper, challenged by RJ, and not the shot that he wanted, but an opportunity there, and it looks like Parker took a shot.
I said that it could go out here.
And the ref taking a moment to stop the clock for a quick water break.
Let's go, Griffins.
Let's crank up the intensity, Blue. Let's go. Come on, Griffins.
Back in play from the 6-yard line over the right-hand side for Syracuse. Syracuse at the top of their defensive third. Right-footed kick up the right channel, brought down by Parker, recovered by Brock, back over to Bryson. Bryson from the 18-yard line to the left-hand side to Jose. Jose left foot over to Parker. Parker in traffic, gets that ball through over to Harper. Harper on the left-hand side over to Parker. Parker inside the attacking third. Swings the ball over to the right-hand side over to Tyson. Oh, and it hits the woodwork! Unlucky! Ball blocked, picked up by Tyler and cleared out there by Syracuse. Oh my word! And the call is going to be Syracuse ball, it looks like. It'll be Syracuse throwing in front of their own bench. Ball thrown down the left line, and Brock is able to get a toe on it and clear it out of the stadium. It will be White throwing at the top of their defensive third on the left-hand side. And play back in. Heavy touch there. Gerald gets to it. Syracuse will recover. Gerald kicks that one out of bounds. It'll be Syracuse throw in from the same spot. Ball in play, brought down by Syracuse, swung back over to their defense, bottom of the circle, right-footed over to the right-hand side, and kept in bounds. Challenged there by Harper. Harper able to recover in traffic, looking to lay it off over to Tyler. Ball kicked out of bounds. It'll be blue throw-in. Parker will be throwing the ball in. Ball thrown in over to Gerald. Gerald back over to Parker. Parker in traffic, kicked out of bounds. It'll be blue throwing again. Harper throws the ball back over to Jose. Jose swings the ball to the right-hand side over to Brock. Oh, now over the right-hand side over to Hassan, crossing midfield on the right. In front of the Syracuse bench, puts it down the right channel, and it's not going to be there. It'll be picked up by Syracuse, whose keeper boots it up high to the far left-hand side, just over Hassan's head. Syracuse challenging a push, no foul called. And Gerald is able to dislodge the ball, and there's the foul. A push against Syracuse. From Hassan to Brock. Brock with his right foot plays it over to the left-hand side for Parker. Parker with this right thigh brings it down, plays it over to the left over to Harper. Harper in traffic against the wall, turns to the right-hand side, puts it in the center over to Gerald. Gerald chips the ball up, looking over for Tyler. Oh, and a diving aerial touch from Tyler, and the save from Syracuse. That'll make the highlight reel for the keeper. Wow. SLA knocking on the door. It's just a matter of time before it opens. Ball brought down from Syracuse on the right-hand side, and it's out of bounds. The call is Griffin throw-in. Parker to Harper to Parker. Parker elects to get the ball back over to Jose on the right. Back over to Brock at the bottom of the circle. Brock bringing it up to midfield. Brock plays it in the channel, intercepted, intended for Alec. Alec slows the ball down, but Syracuse is able to connect. And that is Jose challenging for the ball, and a foul called against Syracuse. Ball put into play quickly over to Tyson. Tyson at the top of the circle. Dispossessed. Syracuse plays the ball over to the far right-hand side, cycling the ball amongst their defensive line now. And Brock is able to challenge that ball, headed down by Syracuse, and kicked up by Gerald. Brock heading the ball over to the far right-hand side, brought down by Syracuse. Syracuse on the attacking third, sliding tackle from Brock, kicked out of bounds. It'll be Syracuse throw-in. And Syracuse will take a moment to make a couple of substitutions. Ryder for SLA will be coming in for Alec. Syracuse at the top of the middle third, plays the ball down from a throw-in. It is almost intercepted. Recovered RJ to Gerald. Gerald over to the left, over to Tyler. Tyler plays it farther left over the wing, over to Harper. Harper slows the ball down, gives it over to Parker. Parker right-footed kick to the far right-hand side, headed away, and it'll be Griffin throw-in at the top of their attacking third on the right-hand side. And Harper substituted off it for Henry. Ryder for the Griffins, running up to the line, throws the ball in. It's inside the box, headed out by, played over to the right, just in front. That was Henry trying to connect with Tyson. Not there. Again, trying to create chances inside the attacking third. It'll be goal kick for the Titans. Ball played to the right-hand side for the Titans, brought up to the 18-yard line, played into the center, challenge, dislodged, recovered by Gerald to over to the left, over to Henry. Henry, 6 yards out, cuts back over to the right, chips the ball over, headed away by the defense. Ryder is able to get that ball, but the Syracuse midfield is able to bring that ball down, crossing midfield, bringing it over to the left. Hassan looking to slow the ball down. Syracuse with the ball up against the left, bringing it into the center. Tyson getting in, slowing the ball down. Ball eventually played back by the Syracuse midfielder, played back to their defensive line now, who's just crossed midfield. Syracuse at the top of the left-hand side, cut back. And a flick brought down, kept in bounds by the Titans, challenged by Hassan, bodied, Hassan winning the tackle, Hassan clearing the ball out, brought down by Syracuse, then finally cleared by Ryder to RJ, RJ chesting the ball over to Tyson, Tyson with the touch, cuts through, breaks a tackle, and is fouled right in front of the bench. The Salem bench, Tyson still down. And Tyson is able to get up, take a quick breather. Ryder throws the ball down the right lane, headed away by Syracuse. Brought down again by Syracuse. Ryder challenging, ball played back to their defensive line, right-footed kick into the center. Tyler trying to slow the ball down, ball played back to the right-hand side. Kept in bounds, and RJ gets a toe on it. It'll be Syracuse throwing. And Syracuse, again, rotating players, keeping legs fresh. Ball thrown into the center. Gerald challenging, not there. Henry gets a toe on it. Won by Parker. Parker lays it off over to Tyler. Tyler cuts back through. Moving on the inside. Tyler, no foul called. Picked up by Henry. Wind up shot. And just stopped below the crossbar. Syracuse's keeper has been busy. Ball laid off to the left back. Ball played into the center for Syracuse. Syracuse bringing the ball up into the middle third. And a 1-2 there. Tyson slowing the ball down. Ball brought, chipped over to the right-hand side, crossing midfield. Headed away by Parker.
Go, Henry, go, Henry.
Parker to Henry. Henry brings the ball down on the line, plays it in the center over to Gerald. Gerald plays the ball back over to Parker. Parker down the middle channel, intended for RJ, and it wasn't there, and it's cleared out of bounds by Syracuse. It will be Griffin throw-in. Parker picking up the ball, throws it down the line over to Henry. Henry with a nice touch, challenged, moves over to the left-hand side, crossing the 18-yard line, cuts back. And no foul called. It is Syracuse with the ball in the middle, swinging over to the far left-hand side. Hassan with the tackle, recovered by Tyler. Tyler on the left-hand side, over to Henry. Henry about 24 yards out, cuts back over to the right, now over to the left. Looks to cut back, and ball dislodged and cleared out by Syracuse. Nice touch by the defender. Ball played up into the center. Challenge there and reset to the defensive line at 18 yards out. Syracuse plays a softball on the right-hand side, moving the ball into the center with his right foot. Now ball played over to the right, dislodged. Parker, nobody there. And And ball played over into the center. A heavy touch there. Syracuse will recover. And is kicked out of bounds. The call is blue throw-in. Parker throws the ball over to Ryder. Ryder moving the ball towards the middle. Chips it up over the right. And connects in the box with Tyson, but not enough. And it will be scooped up by the Titan keeper. Right-footed drop kick from the Titans over to the right-hand side, just past midfield. It drops down. Headed down from Parker to Ryder. Ball dislodged. It's Syracuse who emerges with it in midfield. Ball played into the far left. And Syracuse entering the attacking third on the left-hand side. Tyson there to slow things down. Ball played into the center. Tyler intercepts the ball. Plays the ball back over to Parker. Parker chips it up on the left-hand side over to Henry. Henry cuts back to the inside, plays it over to the far right-hand side over to Ryder. Ryder looking for a runner, stuffed by Syracuse. Syracuse emerging now on a counterattack on the left-hand side. They play it through, chested down by Jose, who clears the ball. And RJ hunting. And it will be headed down and picked up by the Syracuse keeper, who rolls it out over the right-hand side. Ball brought into the middle. Right-footed kick brought down by Hassan, and then offsides against the Syracuse Titans. It will result in a free kick for the Griffins at the bottom of their middle third on the right-hand side. Hassan puts the ball into play over to Brock. Brock swings it farther over to Jose. Jose with the left foot touch, then over to his right over to Parker. Parker down the left channel, and no runner there. Ball crossed over into the center, and it is Gerald who's able to pick it up. Gerald moving forward, cutting back, swinging the ball over to the left-hand side over to Parker. Parker one touch over to Ryder. Ryder circles the ball back over to Jose. Jose feigns the pass to Brock, bringing the ball on the left-hand side over to Henry. Henry, and it's off of the shoulder of Parker. It'll be Syracuse throwing. Syracuse taking another moment to make a substitution. And the Griffins also. RJ coming off for Harper, and Tyson coming off and being replaced by Jet. Syracuse throw in from the top of their defensive third on the right-hand side. Ball thrown down the right lane, headed up by Parker in the center, brought down by Jet. Challenge is going to be over to the right-hand side, over to Ryder. Not there. It'll be Syracuse. And a handball called against Ryder, inadvertent, of course. Syracuse making a couple of substitutes. Oh, no handball called. It is actually a throw-in. And that ball is connected. Recovered by Hassan. Hassan plays it over to Jet. Jet plays back over to Brock. Brock swings the ball over to Jose. Jose farther wide over to Parker. Parker with the left foot moves the ball forward. His pass is deflected. Headed over and one in the center. It'll be Syracuse on the counterattack. They play the ball back in the middle. Ball swung back over the right-hand side, just past midfield on the right. Down the right channel, they're able to connect. Inside the attacking third, the ball crossed and then chipped up by Brock. It'll be a corner kick for Syracuse. Syracuse running a set piece from the right-hand side. Medium height, cleared out there by Gerald, I believe. Harper now chasing for the ball. He's able to use his body, make the turn, breaks free. Harper using his feet. Harper just outside the box. Blocked by the keeper. Unlucky. Holy smokes. How many opportunities will the Griffins have? Ball played out on the left-hand side. Challenged. Now ball over on the far left. Hassan, ball breaks through on the left-hand side, and Brock is able to knock it out of bounds. It'll be Syracuse throw in. Top of their middle third on the left. Ball played in and gets through. Syracuse looking to cross the ball deep from the corner against the line, keeping it in bounds. And towed out of bounds by Jose. It'll be another corner kick for the Titans. Just under 2 minutes left to play in the first half. The score tied 0-0 in the round of 16. Right foot a kick into the box, headed back. And it is Syracuse who will emerge with the ball. They elect to let it roll. It will be white throw-in deep in their attacking third up from the right-hand side. They play the ball soft just outside the box. They chest it back, and Parker kicks it out of bounds. It'll be another Syracuse throw-in.
Come on, Griffins.
Syracuse puts the ball in just before. Recovered. Picked up by Tyler. Tyler moving over to the left-hand side just a bit. Looking for a runner on the left. He gets it over to Henry. Henry just before midfield. Gets it over to Harper on the left. Harper. And that's knocked out of bounds. The Griffins only have less than 30 seconds left to put it into play. Ryder looking to run over there. 20 seconds left in the first half. Ryder heaves it into the box. Headed up. And it'll be brought down by the Titan keeper, who will milk a few seconds off of the clock. And that'll be the half. The score tied 0-0.